What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday. I don't know about you. I'm so excited that I'm making it through, pushing through this week. This has been a week, the week, challenging, but I'm excited that I'm making it, y'all. That you're making it. Because if you're watching this video, if you're tuning into this video, you're with us too. So I'm just grateful for it. Y'all, how y'all doing? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Do me a favor. Like, share, comment. Let's talk. Let's have great conversation. I'm excited tonight because we have a phenomenal guest. I'm telling you, I honestly I had to read her bio, but I thought she was from Cincinnati, and I would have bet my life on it because this lady comes into rooms and it's like everybody knows her. She's everybody's friend. She's that place, like that bar that you go to that everybody knows your name. She's that person that like everybody knows her name. Like she's around the city, she's around in our communities. Like I literally thought this lady was from Cincinnati, and I'm sitting here reading her bio right now, and I was like, Cleveland. Who is from Cleveland? But we'll talk about that in a second. But y'all, I'm excited. We have Dr. AMG. She goes by Dr. AMG, and we're talking about bullying doesn't stop in childhood. And like we're addressing adult harassment and microaggressions. I'm excited about this conversation. Y'all do us a favor again. Like, share, comment, talk back with us. Talk with us. If you want to say something, say something. There's going to be a spot where we can read your comments and talk back to you, but talk back to us, y'all. I'm excited about this conversation. Let's get her on. Mikey, I'm ready now. Right now. Oh, that worked. That worked. It worked. It worked. It
Oh,
worked.
it worked.
It worked. It worked. Because sometimes when I do that, she actually like delays the process so she can try to be funny.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah, she does that sometimes. But how are you? How you doing?
I am well. How are you? I
Um,
am
it's Wednesday, and
well.
that's all I got for you at this point.
Listen. On Monday, I felt like we had went through the whole week, so I feel you.
No, really,
Monday, I don't
like
understand.
only Monday, and then like Tuesday. I mean, yeah, Tuesday felt like Monday, and then today feels like It's like I'm in a place that like that. I feel like the weekend was just here, and then
Yes.
it's like, why am I
Mhm.
like back on Monday? And yeah, but I mean, we're pushing through though, right? We're pushing
Push
through.
it through.
We're pushing
Push it.
through. So, Dr. FG, tell us who you are because again, I read this profile or your bio, and I'm not lying to you. I thought you were from Cincinnati, Ohio, the greatest
No,
Cincinnati, Ohio. Who comes from Cleveland? Like, well,
I
apparently you
feel some
come from.
type of way. I feel some type of way. You was like, well, who comes from Cleveland? Me, Dr.
um,
MG,
excuse me,
the
me.
greatest, right? We come from Cleveland.
Yes.
Um, So yes, I am from Cleveland, Ohio. I am not from here, but I have been in Cincinnati for 30 years, which is crazy.
Okay, so that makes
A
sense. Okay,
long
that
time.
makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when you say those things, that yes, I
Mm.
am from Cleveland, but I've been here a long time, and I am grateful that I've come here. But home is still Cleveland.
Mm.
Home is still Cleveland.
Like you were very passionate facially. The energy just gave off. You were dead serious. Home is still clear. When you gave your like Dorothy, your best
Yes.
impression of Dorothy, there's no place like home. There's no place.
Absolutely. And it shows up at football season, right?
Oh,
So
oh,
football
oh!
season
You wanted
comes.
those. You wanted them. I'm not letting
Yes. And
go.
then, Cleveland plays
Oh,
Cincinnati. And I start getting the text message. So who you down with? So I say it all the time. Cleveland first, then the Bengals, right?
I
I'm
don't know
still a
about
Bengal
this.
fan,
I don't
but
know about
Browns
this. I
first.
think we need to do some background checks on our guests because producer, I don't think this is appropriate for her to be coming on my platform.
Who they?
I mean,
Who they?
like
But dogs
we
first.
we have to support. We have to support. But we're
Okay.
talking about bullying doesn't stop at childhood, addressing adult harassment and microaggressions.
Yes.
So, in your mindset, though, when it comes to thinking about like bullying, for you, what does that look like for you, in like adult bullying?
Right. Right. Um, Well, it can show up in various ways. It's various indicators, various forms, various levels of severity. It can be subtle. Sometimes it's overt, but it's often repeated behaviors.
Mm.
All right, and so it can show up as rude and mean comments, public humiliation. You can, start because someone is starting rumors or gossip or untruths about individuals. It can sometimes show up in exclusion
Mm.
that is purposeful, um, undermining in front of supervisors and
Mm.
managers, and those sort of things. It is rare in adulthood, though it happens, for it to show up in physical harm.
Yeah.
That is not usually how it shows up, but it can. It
Yeah.
can show up in physical harm or threatening of physical harm. So those are some of the ways: withholding information, not telling someone when the meeting is supposed to be, not saying the exact time, right? All of these different subtle ways that people try to and it can show up as, but it feel like it's bullying. Um,
I really didn't like. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was preparing for this, I
mhm.
think I found out that I technically would be considered or had in the past been considered an adult bully. In my choir, I think I used to bully people because
Oh,
just even in your like spill on bullying, like leaving out information. If I used to not text certain people about like rehearsals and stuff. I think, oh my god! So I need to sit on your couch. Let's talk about
oh,
this.
yeah, and first thing I would say repent, but after that, you do that first, and then
Yes.
acknowledge it. I was wrong.
Yes. I'm
But
wrong.
it's interesting you say that, because oftentimes it's very passive aggressive. It's
Mm.
not something. It's underlying. People are just trying to. It's very passive, and many bullies aren't. They are dealing with their own stuff, and so it's not outward. They like to throw the rock and hide their hand,
Mm.
as bullies, and so it's passive aggressive, right?
Mm.
Not texting individual like, oh, I forgot to text you. You ain't forget to text me. That was purposeful. You said that the meeting started at 2:30 so that I can show up late and I can
Yeah.
look bad,
Mm.
because of whatever you're trying to do for yourself, or whatever your feelings are about me as an individual, as a professional. You're trying to keep me there in that place, or whatever the case may be. And so those are some of the ways that can show up in adulthood and in the workplace.
And like, so even with that, like, how do you think you could tell the difference in the
Hmm.
sense between conflict, bullying? So like, I may have just a little issue. It's not so much that I'm like continuously going to do this, but maybe it's like there's just somewhat form of conflict versus
Yes.
I'm just bullying.
Well, I would say one of the first things about conflict is conflict can actually be a good thing,
Mm.
right? Conflict can help you grow and develop as an individual, or the relationship to grow and develop. That's the difference. Then bullying is more this individualized, you are purposefully trying to harm someone. That's a very different thing, right?
Mm.
Conflict is usually situational. It's
Mm.
one thing. It's the one situation that's occurring. Bullying is usually repetitive.
Mm.
It's repeated behaviors. You're seeing it over and over again with this individual that they're trying these different tactics. And I would say that that's one of the biggest things. Bullying does not create opportunity for healthy outcomes.
Mm.
Conflict does.
Mm.
Conflict can, should I say? It does not
Yeah.
always, but conflict can actually create an opportunity for a healthy outcome. Bullying does not offer that opportunity usually.
So, like, in your like experience, though, because like in the workplace, like you're in these situations in the workplace,
Yeah.
because when conflict sometimes in the workplace, like it's a thin line, sometimes it's crossed, and it's like, but how do you think like one can handle that? Like, of course, you got the HR departments and all this stuff, but like if you're trying to like just internalize this in self, like how do you suggest one go about? Like before
Mm.
even having to go bring in somebody else. Like what does that look like when it's at the conflict
Um,
stage?
when it's in conflict, I say the I've done several conflict resolution trainings, and even in my own professional career, because in, if you're in a workplace, you're going to deal with conflict.
Hmm.
But what I often say is relationship is the foundation. So, you want to do your best to build effective relationships. When we have good, effective working relationships, when there is a conflict, you can go to that person. You also can tell because you've developed this relationship, the individual. Oftentimes we can't tell, or we don't want to go to someone when we don't have the relationship.
Hmm.
This is why workplace places, when it comes to human resources and leadership, is so important to build relationships with your teams and with individuals, because that way, when there is a conflict, I feel comfortable going to the person. I can go to the person and say, I when you did this, I felt this.
Hmm.
When that relationship is not there, you're not sure whether someone is bullying you, it's a microaggression, if it's just a conflict. You can't tell because
So
you don't
yeah.
know the person. But when you get to know the individuals you get the opportunity to serve alongside, then you can actually deal with the conflict. We struggle with dealing with conflict because of the lack of relationship.
Mm.
uh, Built solid, good relationships. We
Mhm.
spend oftentimes, unless we are working from home or even with that, um, or hybrid workplaces, we spend more time with individuals we work with than those that we live with often. And
Mhm.
so those relationships are essential, and they're essential to the growth and development and the work that you do. And so I always say start there. The other thing I will say that I've learned for myself is to check my stuff.
Mm.
We are very good at finger pointing. This person
Mhm.
did this person did that. But I have to check my triggers. I have to check and say, okay, is this individual, or is it me? Is it a past experience that I had with someone else that's triggering how I feel about this individual or this
Mhm.
situation? Um, I think that that's important too. I have to check my triggers. I have to know my triggers. I have to know how they show up for myself, so that when I have a conflict, I can check me, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, wait a minute. Is that my ego? Is it my stuff? Or no, this individual truly was rude, disrespectful, and I need to let them know
I de-
immediately so that we
de-
can keep going on.
the crazy thing is, I like hitting that nail on the hammer or the hammer on the nail. I feel like the relationship piece, like building those relationships, like essential. But
Right.
I think like sometimes when we're in those spaces, and it's according on like your personality, because like you said, you have to check self. 'Cause sometimes
Yes.
it's not them; it may just be me.
Yeah.
But because I don't know how to open up to new people, I don't know how to build those relationships, those bridges, and that's where the gap lies. Sometimes while you point that finger, it should be pointing back at you because
That's right.
it could be just a you thing. And I said you thing because I wanted to talk about you for a second. Just to segue off of that, lead on
Yeah.
the organization that you started, that you founded, is an organization that builds leaders. Right? You're in
Yeah.
here strengthening leaders in their positions. Um, but in your findings and your like work while you're doing the work, because I want to read this quote too. It says, if serving is below you, the leadership is beyond you.
That's
You That's what you quoted. So finding yourself pruning leaders, growing leaders, helping like leaders mature in their like walk, or wherever they're operating in. Have you found yourself like seeing like this in leadership though? Like because it starts at the top. So like we're talking about yes. So have we
right.
found like it? A thing with leadership, like have they conflict resolution, bully? I mean, because those microaggressions are like definitely in the workplace.
Yeah.
How has that been? like for you to work with, though, like to help
Yeah,
them.
you know what? Absolutely. Oftentimes we are put in positions because of we've been at a place long, we're very good at our work, and then people are like, "Oh, you're good at your job. Let's make you a manager, a supervisor."
Yeah.
But we're not going to equip you. We're not going to give you the tools that you need to be an effective and efficient leader. And so that's where lead on comes in, right? So I often say we have to learn and know when to lead on, when to lead up, and when to lead out. All right.
Mm.
And so that's where lead on comes in, is how do we help individuals with effective leadership skills, effective conflict management skills, all of those things. But it takes time.
Mm.
Just like in anything else, it takes time. It is a skill that you have to practice over and over and over again, because we lead diverse individuals, right? We are not leading the same people. You have to learn how to navigate, how to pivot, different personalities, different experiences, different traumas that people bring into the workplace. Right. We have to understand and know that when people come to work, they don't drop life off at the door and say, "I'll come back to pick you up at 5 p.m. life." And that's just not how it works. Life comes
Um,
in right with them. And how do I, as a leader, help them navigate that? So, what I will say about that also is that you are so right, Kerry. You are so right in the fact that it starts at the top. And we are dealing with that in our administration today,
mm.
right? It starts at the top. And if our leaders are not great at conflict, if they are the ones that's going to dodge and move and try to get out of the way
Hide
of
their
conflict, well,
hands.
how are they going to help someone that comes to them and says, "I'm dealing with the conflict"? They can't, right? Instead, they end up being messy alongside them, right? They end up talking about a colleague with your employee that you have no business doing. You are participating in the behavior, in the culture that you say you don't want. And so it takes a lot of work, a lot of practice. But what I will say is, when I see organizations or groups and teams that have a lot of conflict, and I'm not talking about the normal or lots of bullying scenarios, what it tells, I often say, well, the tree bears fruit.
Mm.
And what fruit are you bearing as a leader? uh, Model the way. We as leaders are being watched all the time.
All the time.
And so when someone comes in and they talk to you, and they're bringing you a situation, and they're like, "And this person did this," and you like, "Girl, what?
Yeah.
Did she?
Mm.
No, she didn't."
Mm.
That is unacceptable, right? That is unacceptable, because what you need to be doing is saying, "How do I help this person navigate this where I don't even need to be involved?"
Mm.
As a leader, the best teams is when the leader they don't even know the conflict happened. They didn't brought it to you like, "Oh, we handled it though, because we saw how you handled it."
Mm.
Right? Though we are supposed to model the way, and we don't do that well often, in my experience.
Yeah, no, I think that is a thing, but I don't like. Sometimes I think it's relationships cross too, though. Like, so even as the leadership, sometimes in leadership, the leaders feel like, the best way to handle situations is build those relationships with people, so then lines get crossed. So then when you do come to me, now it's more on like, "Oh, for real, what?" Oh,
Yes,
because
yes,
we've kind of like intertwined and kind of like personalized, and like, uh, we're
yes,
on the same level. I want to make you feel like we're on the same level, but I can't. I'm not supposed to treat you like we're on the same level when it comes to conflict resolution, dealing with in the workplace and other stuff. But because lines get crossed, it's like, "Oh, for real? Tell me more." Like,
yes, yes,
yes, so, yeah.
yes, absolutely. And I see that often when someone was a peer and
Mm.
then they become a supervisor. That's where you really see it. And I've experienced it.
Mm.
Each place that I've worked, I have moved into leadership positions. And so at some point, I was a peer with my colleagues, and then I moved, and now I'm supervising them. And I will tell you, I have every time had to call those individuals in and have a conversation and say, now listen, this is different now. There's a line we cannot cross. There's conversations I can no longer have. All of those things need to happen, and I do it right away. Let's set the expectation
That part.
right away.
Hmm.
And then not only can I say it, but I have to show it. So
Mm.
I can't just say that, and then when they bring me something, I'm
I'm back
participating.
here. Yeah.
Right. I have to show it over and over and over again until they get it. But it is challenging. It's not easy. I think we minimize how difficult and challenging leadership and conflict and bullying, all of this can be. It's not an easy thing. That's why you have individuals like myself that can come in and help individuals, rather, and I've done executive coaching, all of those things, so that we can help individuals to be prepared or be effective in those roles, even with the challenges we're discussing.
So, Mikey just let me know that there is a question for you. So, I definitely
Okay.
want to get that question up. Can we post that question, please? Checking self isn't easy. What tools can help the process? Okay, and
Mm,
that's Iris Rowley. Thank you for that question. Checking self isn't easy. What tools can help the process?
yes. Thank you, Sister Rowley, for that question. And so the checking of the self comes in with much self-awareness work, whether that's in therapy yourself, counseling yourself, rather it's noticing my triggers. And so I may not be able to name it completely, but I notice like, oh, something's coming up for me. What is that? Knowing when I go into situations and I notice that I don't like someone,
Mm,
because that happens. Even as
yes.
leaders, we don't always like the individuals that we work with. But what is it about that person? Who do they remind me of?
Mm,
Who do they remind me of that is showing up for me? Um, there's also self-awareness tools. Rather, there's so many out there that you can take. So many things out there that you can take that tells you who you are as a leader, all of these things, who are the individuals that you lead that has these things that don't jive with you, that helps you as well as a leader. So I would say, taking some of those assessments has helped me, right? Like, oh, I struggle with dictators. I
mm,
struggle with these individuals that are, this is a struggle for me. So, okay, when this person shows this behavior, I got to check me because that's who they are.
mm,
The other part is, I have been reading the book, and if you haven't had the opportunity to read it, it has become the book for me, and it is Let Them by Mel Robbins. And what it tells you about is to let individuals be who they are. Let
mm,
them give them the autonomy to behave and do what they need to do. But what am I going to do for me?
mm,
So when that individual shows something that does not sit well with me and who I am and those things, then I let them.
mm.
But what are the tools that I give myself? Whether that's okay, I need to breathe or I need to step away because in a minute I'm gonna have to tell them to meet me at the flagpole. So let me just not say the things. Let
Yes.
me breathe. Let me write a note. I told someone before, don't say it out of your mouth. Just write it.
Mm,
just just write it. No one needs to see it. Just don't say the words. Write it. No
right.
one needs to see it, but you've gotten it out in a
Yes.
in a way that no one needs to know. I
Mm.
didn't have this thought about you. It ain't a good thought.
So I'm
I
gonna
let it
write it.
out. I
I'm gonna
wrote it
write
out,
it and let it
and
out.
that's it. Right?
Definitely.
Yes, another tool that I have definitely used.
I love it. Iris said the same thing. I love it too. Like, oh, I love that. The queen is in the house. Yes, she's definitely in the house,
Sister
dropping
Rose,
knowledge. Um, what
another
fruit are you
amazing.
bearing as a leader? Like,
Yes.
oh, that's Dr.
What
MG.
fruit are you
That's the
bearing as a leader?
that's the That's your book title. That's what she's writing it out for you.
Oh,
So
okay. You better write the book for
she's
me,
writing the
sister.
book out for you. There you go.
Right.
She put it
But I
out there
will
for you.
say, the fruit that I think is important for leaders to bear in foundation is love. Um, to notice and know that every individual deserves love, respect, and empathy. Even the ones that give us the hardest times, they deserve respect, empathy, and love. And
Definitely.
that can be hard as a
Hard.
leader. That can be challenging. But if you go into your days that way, it will help you. And you don't know their story. So
Mhm.
while you're checking your triggers, you aren't sure of what you've said or done that's not
That
even
trigger.
you, right? It's
Mhm.
not you. It's something, a trigger for them that comes from their past. And my partner has often said to me, it's not you, it's them. And
Mhm.
if you can walk in that,
Mhm.
unless I know it's me, and I can say
Mhm.
some days
It's
like,
me.
oh no, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, did my ego just show up? That is unacceptable. Let me put her back because she can be strong.
Yes.
Let me put her back and
But is that
check her.
easy to do? Is that easy? Like I know you had to do some work to get to that
Oh,
place,
it
right?
takes a lot of work, but it has become easier.
Okay. Okay.
I have something that stays in front of my wall at work that talks about speak no ego, see no ego, be no ego. And what it tells me constantly, I keep it in front of me, is to check my ego.
Mm.
Because oftentimes it's our ego. That person
Mm.
wasn't even thinking about you. Well, who she thinks she talking to? Like she wasn't even, and
Yeah.
we read emails and we can't see people. And so we have to be careful of that. And we can quickly go to who he think he talking to, who she
Mm-hmm.
thinks she talking to. Is oftentimes that's our ego showing
Mm.
up because it's like, well, who do you think you are that they can't? We have to check our stuff. Like, who are you? Bring it
Yeah.
back down, sis. You ain't that important. You know, and the other thing I'll tell you that I've done for myself is I don't identify myself by my position.
Mm.
Ego will have you identify yourself by your position. You are not your position. And the position can be taken away in a snap, right? And so we are not our position. Get to know who you are as an individual because you're not the position. It's the ego that tells us, I am the. I don't even introduce myself by my title. That's who
Mhm.
I am because I am not. I serve in the seat. I don't get caught up in my office because that doesn't belong to me. It's a space that my position gets to utilize to do the work. Right. These are the things that I constantly have to remind myself and sometimes remind others.
I literally just in that moment, true transparent moment, I got chills when you said that piece because I know that to be true. Because I've seen you out, I've been in spaces with you, and that's a true statement she's saying. I'm telling y'all, like you're right.
It's good
Like
work.
yes, no, really,
It's good work.
that's phenomenal. And I think it's a mindset though that has to be like cultivated. Like you have to want to like cultivate that type of mindset because it's real easy to walk in like, oh, I'm this and you're like this is my position, so you're gonna and then but that mindset will have you bullying and
You will.
allowing those
Yes.
aggressions to happen in the workplace. So
Yes.
real easy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's real easy.
Apps, it really, really will. And so you have to check all of that, Kerry, as you just said, like I am. No, you're not. You stop it.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, so I don't introduce myself and I learned this a long time ago. Actually, I was in a room one day, and this was years. I was working at a college, and I heard someone introduce themselves as I serve. And that had to have been, my daughter is 20, had to be 25 years ago.
Mm,
And I have always kept that in my
mm,
mind. Like, oh, wait a minute. And they never said why they did it. I
mhm,
just heard it. And I was like, oh, they're right. And then I read the book, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. and he really speaks about our ego. And
Mm.
I've now read that book probably 4 times. And
Mm.
sometimes when my ego flares up, I have to go back to it.
Mm.
And it is a book that talks about that, like our ego and what it will do, and about us identify ourselves by roles, whether that's identifying myself as a mother, identifying myself as a wife, when I'm no longer a wife and my partner passes on, or my children move out, and then I don't know who I am. Right. Those are some of the things that I've read and learned to not identify myself and to check that ego.
I'm telling you, we talked back a little bit backstage about this. When that book comes out, I'll buy the first one, and then Mikey's gonna buy that second one. Because we're gonna get that book out. Because this lady has so much knowledge, so much information she's dropping. That lead on though, we're gonna have to connect on because there's work for you to do. I have
Okay.
work for you to do. So
Okay.
love it,
Please.
love it, love it. Well, I need the development in my leadership. So for me personally, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
calling you. Yes,
Yeah.
because
Okay. Sounds
that's
good.
phenomenal. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Like and leaders have to recognize this too, that we don't become stagnant even in leadership. Like there's
Oh,
still
yes.
pruning and growing that you can do
Yes.
because again, like so much stuff happening in the workplace, you can become blindsided like to all this stuff just because you're in a space and like so pruning and growing. I'm definitely there. So I need more information on how to
Yes.
get in
And I'm
on.
I'm growing myself. I have made many mistakes. And those mistakes have gotten me to be better, but I am not where even I need to be.
Mm-hmm,
We have to constantly be
mm-hmm,
growing and developing ourselves as leaders, so that we can help others, so that we can identify bullying tactics, so we
mm-hmm.
can, stop someone, see something, say
Say
something,
something.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not developing ourselves as leaders, we won't be able to identify them, to help someone.
I love that so much. She says, there's another comment. So can we get that comment up really quick? Starting tonight, checking self first. That's
Oh,
facts.
yes.
She said Iris is going in. I need a private session. Nope, I'm buying the first 20. Iris, I'll beat you out. I got 21 then.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Oh, we gonna get that book sold. We get
We're
that
gonna
book
get
sold.
that book.
Pruning and
Absolutely.
growing. Love this. No,
Absolutely.
that's a fact.
I'm
Um,
writing that. Yes.
Yes, you better get this contractual. Like you said
You
on Wednesday,
said.
October 1st, you were buying 20. You committed to.
Yes.
No, I love it. I want to ask you one more question and then start putting on your mindset. I normally ask every week if our guests can drop some gems, some knowledge, which
Mm,
you've already technically done, but put on your mind. You're very like a well of wisdom, if you will. So therefore, just drop us some wisdom. But the last question I want to ask: if someone feels like they're being bullied or hit with microaggressions, what's the first step that they can take to handle it, in your
mm.
opinion?
I will go back to what I said. The first step is to check you.
Mm,
I don't care what you do. The first step is to check you. How have you participated?
mm,
Is this a trigger? Did this really happen? Checking yourself, check your ego, check yourself, check your trigger. After that, I always encourage individuals to try to deal with them themselves. If you can, if you have relationship with the individual, if you can, is to try to approach it in a respectful manner. To say, just as I stated, we were in the meeting and you said this, and I don't know what your intent was, but the impact was this on me, right?
mm,
Because I often speak about that intent versus impact. You
mm,
person may not even intend it to harm you or to make you feel the way, but the impact was that it did. And
yeah,
so I go to the individual and let them know, because they may just not know the impact was this on me, or this is what I heard. Is that what you meant? Right.
mm,
That's a very good way to approach. Like, this is what I heard when you said that. Is that what you meant
mm.
when you said that? And have that conversation. Now, what we know for sure is that we cannot always go to individuals. It's
No.
not safe, or or it's just not safe.
Yeah, it's
And
just
it's
not
like
okay.
absolutely not, right? And so you go to your supervisor, your supervisor, and you articulate the situation, and you let them know, the impact it has on your work.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say this, and my partner has said this to me several times, and this is something I've learned in a lesson in a workplace, and that is um, that you the person may not have meant it that way, and make sure that it's about the work,
Mm.
because if it's all about how you feelings
Mm.
come and go, but what they do, does that impact your ability to continue to work with them? Does
Mhm.
it impact your ability to continue to serve your clients, your community members? If not, is it something you could just put behind you and free
Mhm.
yourself and them? Right? I would just ask that. Right?
Yeah.
So don't take something to your supervisor that's petty and silly and immature when we're talking about a professional workplace.
Mm.
But if it affects you in a way that you know you cannot effectively work with this individual, then yes, take it to the supervisor. If, and we know this happens, the supervisor and that individual has a relationship and you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel like you can go to them and those things, then everybody has a supervisor.
Mm.
Everybody. The CEO has someone that they have
Yep.
to answer to. And so you go to the next step. You also have the opportunity to go to human resources.
Mm.
Human resources is there for the staff, but also understand it is also there for the risk of the agency.
Mm.
But it is there. Human resources is there to hear you and to guide you
Mhm.
and to tell you the next steps that you can take and to give you some tools to possibly take to that individual, take to the situation. But everyone has a supervisor,
Mhm.
and you may have to go.
Just might have
It,
to.
you may have to, but I would say when someone comes to me, the first thing I ask is, "So, what have you done to try to rectify this before you came
Mhm.
here?" It's going to be my first question. Have you talked to them? Have you talked to your supervisor? Why not? Those are going to be some of my first questions. But as professionals, we want to try to resolve some of those things or as much as possible ourselves.
I love like you literally like even when you drew one story to the other, it came together. Like how you said, make sure that it's professional and not personal. So, like you have to
Yes.
check those intents, and then how you said your partner even had you in that mindset. It's a good mindset to
Yes.
have because nine
We
times
be
out of ten,
checking.
sometimes we're just operating personally. Like this is my personal feelings. Like
That's right.
professionally, it might not even affect me really, but personally,
Yes.
I just don't care for this person. I
For that.
or
Right, right. Personally, I
yeah,
just don't like you, and that's
yeah,
okay.
like,
Because you don't have
but
to like the individual to work with them effectively. We don't
yeah,
have to like each other. We have to respect one another. We don't have to like each other.
that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm telling you, words of like technically, like my last piece you already done, but I already know you have something even the more stored up because I'm waiting on it. We're taking notes, Mikey. Get ready to type it on the screen really
I
fast.
don't.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
know you do. I know you do.
So just I'll say two things. The first thing is when we're talking about bullying and microaggressions and conflict management, all of those conflict resolution, I would say when in doubt, choose compassion and kindness. When you're in doubt, choose compassion because we don't know what someone walked in. We don't know where they came from. We don't know what they're leaving from home. It's not always about you.
Mm,
They just may be having some challenges or hard days. So I would say, when in doubt, choose compassion and kindness.
mm,
The other thing I would say is respect is essential. It is not a policy, it is a practice.
mm,
Respect is essential. It is not a policy. And we try to, it could be one of our core values and all of that, but it is a practice. And we have to practice being respectful. And one of the ways that we can practice that is relationship building. How I like to be treated or talked to may not be how someone else likes to be treated. And as leaders, we have to individualize the way we speak to one another, our staff, the way we interact with them. And so respect is not a policy, it is a practice. Practice it.
Like the fact that you just told me no, that you weren't ready for this, and I already knew that you was, my spirit had, like, it was already put in my spirit that this was about to, it was gonna pour out. Like I knew this, guys. I'm telling you,
You
like
knew, you knew
I,
it.
I just knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Like I feel like like you already planted your church. Like your ministry has already been planted.
Come on
So
now. Come
yes,
on now.
we see that. We speak that. Or the fact that maybe like that chair is actually like a therapy chair. Like Ira said, like I'm paying for my therapy session because you're giving very much.
Hey,
So when you're ready for a chair, I got
I'm
a
not
chair for you.
licensed. Do I need to go get licensed?
We can work on that. Charisma is watching this right now. Charisma, we're gonna
Okay.
work on
All right.
her, and
All
we're gonna
right.
get you in the chair because you're
Let's do
somebody's
it.
therapist. Yeah, you're
Let's
somebody's
do it.
therapist. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much though for
Thank
spending this
you.
time with us. Like
Thank
dropping the
you.
knowledge. I already knew it. And then again, the crazy thing is, when Mikey kept saying, like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my girl Ed G," and it wasn't putting two to together. And then when I saw the bio, I said, "Oh," and then I saw that Cleveland part, and it was like, "Oh," but
Sir,
I'm so,
sir.
but I'm so excited though that you took this time because I know
Thank
schedule
you.
be you be booked and busy all around. But
Speak
thank
it.
you so much.
Speak it. And thank you. Thank you for
No,
trusting me.
no,
Thank you
yes,
for trusting me. I do not take that lightly at all.
no,
Thank you for
no.
trusting me.
We definitely appreciate you, though. Thank you so much, y'all. We're here every Wednesday doing these type of conversations with these type of people, real people talking real things. I'm excited. 6:30 every Wednesday. Join us, Poppy's Conversation Corner. Check our website out. We're Poppy's Therapeutic Corner. Learn more about who we are, what we're doing in our city. We're excited about it. Check us out. That's our office number. Call me. Don't call me. Call that number. If you ever need us, we're there. But y'all,
Yeah.
thank y'all for tuning in. Share, like, comment. But I'll see y'all next week. And hold on backstage too.